New York City just made it legal for homeowners to build rental apartments in their basements, attics, garages, and backyards. It's called the City of Yes, and it's the biggest zoning change in 60 years. Everyone's talking about it, but here's what nobody's telling you. Only about 12% of properties in the city actually qualify. Today I'm going to break down exactly what an ADU is, whether your property qualifies, what it costs to build one, and how much rental income you could actually generate. I'm Joseph Ranola with the Bridge and Boro Team at Real Broker. We specialize in Staten Island and Brooklyn, and Staten Island is ground zero for these ADUs in New York City. Why? Because Staten Island has the largest stock of single-family homes in the city. Easy. They have basements, garages, backyards that can be converted into legal rental units. This is a massive opportunity for Staten Island homeowners specifically, but there is a ton of misinformation out there. Some people think that they could just throw up a wall in their basement and start collecting rent. Others think that the government is going to force apartments into their neighborhood. Neither is necessarily true. Let me give you the actual facts. Also, before we get started, I did put together a free ADU eligibility guide for Staten Island and Brooklyn. It walks you through the zoning requirements, the property eligibility checklist, estimated construction costs, and rental income projections. It's completely free. Link is in the description and pinned comment below. So what is an ADU? ADU stands for Ancillary Dwelling Unit, though you'll also hear them called Accessory Dwelling Units. In plain English, it's a small, self-contained apartment that's added to an existing property. Under the City of Yes zoning changes passed in December 2024, went into effect in 2025, homeowners with one or two family homes can now add one ADU to their property. That ADU can be in your basement or cellar. It can be in your attic. It can be a converted garage, or it could be a brand new freestanding structure in your backyard like a small cottage. The key rules: the ADU cannot exceed 800 square feet. It cannot cover more than 33% of your required rear yard for a detached structure. And the property owner must live in either the main home or the ADU. You cannot rent out both. So does your property qualify? That's the biggest question. The owner is more restrictive than you might think. The Regional Plan Association did an analysis and found that only about 68,000 out of the city's 565,000 one and two family properties are eligible for an ADU. It's only about 12%. Why so few? Several reasons. First is the flood zones. If your property is in a coastal flood zone, and significant portions of Staten Island's East and South Shore are, basement and cellar ADUs are not allowed. Backyard ADUs would need to be elevated above the floodplain, which adds significant cost. Second is zoning. Backyard ADUs are banned in some single-family zones that are farther from transit. In Brooklyn, Councilmember Justin Brannan secured an exemption banning backyard ADUs in parts of Bay Ridge. Third, historic districts. If your property is in a landmarked or historic district, ADU construction faces additional restrictions. And the fourth is the lot size and configuration. Your lot needs to be big enough to accommodate the ADU while maintaining required setbacks and yard coverage limits. How do you find out if your property qualifies? The New York City Department of Buildings has started accepting ADU applications. You can check the city's zoning and land use maps, or work with an architect or expediter who specializes in ADU permits. Or, and I'm going to be honest, you could reach out to me and I will help you figure it out. This is something that I'm actively tracking for my clients because it's mentioned so much. It's such a hot topic. I actually just teamed up with a team of people that assist you in getting an ADU, everyone all under one roof. It's a one-stop shop. You have the architect, the tax assessor, the zoning guy. You have everyone that you need to figure out, start to finish, your ADU. And if it's plausible, and if it is plausible, they can do the whole thing for you, including build it for you. Now let's talk money. Building an ADU is not cheap. This is New York City construction. A basement conversion where you're finishing an existing space could be $50,000 to $150,000, depending on the condition of whether you need to add egress windows, plumbing, electrical, and meet building code requirements. An attic conversion is similar, $60,000 to $120,000. But it can be more complicated depending on ceiling height, structural support, stairway access. That's the most expensive option. You could expect $100,000 to $250,000 or more depending on size, foundation requirements, utilities. You're building a small house, right? And don't forget the soft costs, architect fees, permits, engineering reviews. You could add another $15,000 to $30,000 easily, like nothing. Now, the city has launched the Plus One ADU program through HPD that provides financial assistance and technical support to eligible homeowners. This can help offset some of the construction costs, particularly for homeowners in lower income brackets. On Staten Island, a legal one-bedroom basement apartment could be $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Studio might go for $1,200 to $1,500. In Brooklyn, let's talk about Bay Ridge, Sunset Park, Bensonhurst. A legal one-bedroom basement could be $1,800 to $2,500 a month. The math on a Staten Island basement conversion. Construction costs, let's just call it $100,000 all in. Monthly rental income, $1,750. Annual rental income from that, $21,000. After setting aside about 20% for expenses, insurance, maintenance, vacancies, your net's about $17,000 a year. That means your break-even point is just about 6 years. After that, it's pure income. But here's the bigger play. That rental income also helps you qualify for a higher mortgage if you're buying a property that already has ADU potential. Lenders count 75% of projected rental income when calculating your debt-to-income ratio. And that ADU adds value to your property. A home with a legal ADU appraising for $1,750 a month in rental income is worth significantly more than the same home without one. So the question I'm getting asked the most is, Joseph, I already have a basement apartment. Can I legalize it? The answer is yes. There is a path now. Local Law 126, which passed alongside the City of Yes, created a process for legalizing pre-existing basement and cellar apartments. So here's how that works. You have a 10-year window to bring your existing basement apartment into compliance with the new building code requirements in Local Law 127. That includes things like proper egress, ceiling height, ventilation, fire safety, and plumbing. And this is huge because before this, if you had an illegal basement apartment and the city found out, you faced massive fines and you were required to remove that apartment. Now there is a legal pathway to bring it into compliance. But, and this is important, you still need to meet code. You can't just file some paperwork and call it legal. The apartment has to be safe. Proper windows, proper ceiling height, proper electrical, fire separation between floors. If your existing basement doesn't meet these requirements, you may need to invest in construction upgrades significantly. But the path is there now, which is the point. It was not there before. So ADUs are going to be a major part of the New York City housing story over the next decade. Staten Islanders specifically, this could be a huge opportunity. But it's not automatic. Not every property qualifies. The costs are real and the permitting process is new and still being figured out. If you want to know whether your property qualifies for an ADU and what it would cost, I offer free property assessments. I will pull your zoning information. I'll check the flood maps. I'll give you an honest answer. The link to book, description down below. Grab that free ADU eligibility guide while you're there. I'm Joseph with the Bridge and Boro Team, and I will see you on the next one.